Hello, Twin Flames. This is for a specific collective, and it's a bit of a surprising message to me because I would consider it a cheat. But apparently, in these times, we are needed more than we ever have been, and Spirit's given us a bit of a goose, I think you could say. So this is for a collective of people that has been right on their healing once they figured out what was going on. They recognized the triggers. They addressed what was being triggered. They even addressed some things that weren't triggered. They just got really good at healing. And they're at the place now, they're like, I think I'm good. And so they're wondering what there is left to do because they are not in union with their divine counterpart after years and years. It's even made them start to doubt their intuition. They came into this perhaps not believing they had any intuition, but over the years they have built up more and more trust, and they know now they have an excellent connection. But because for several months now they've been feeling like something was going to happen, that excited kind of it's now feeling, and then nothing did happen, they doubted. But this is a collective, I'm just going to say, that has about had it with this twin flame journey. It's been way more years than they ever would have anticipated it would be. They feel like they've been working their asses off with no reward. And it's just kind of at a place where they're thinking if they're going to be loving to themselves, they'd rather have a companion that was present and talking to them, not this ghosted, blocked, ignored thing that's going on. Okay, now the heart of heart. How to explain this? For a couple years now, I have had a theory that a very large number of twin flames were raised by narcissists, whether they realize it or not. But I haven't said much about it because it was a theory. And then recently something happened with my twin flame that pretty much gave me the confirmation I needed that this was more than a theory. And then Spirit gave me the assignment to pass this on. I don't know what prompted this, but why I'm even recounting this is because a couple nights ago I was kind of talking about this to myself, and all of a sudden I realized, I know why this feels so familiar. I've known this my whole life. This is gaslighting. This is gaslighting. Because we are being led to believe in a reality that is not the reality. And it is intentional that this false front is being shown to us. Now, that's my clue that my theory is probably right, because a lot of us that were raised by narcissists picked up some of the tactics, I guess you could say, without realizing this is not normal. This is not how people should treat each other. So, the silent treatment. You may do that to people to punish them. It could go as far as blocking and ghosting. That's silent treatment times whatever. The gaslighting is something that was learned at the knee of the narcissistic parent. And until someone points it out, we may not realize that that's what we're doing. It's just our normal. Why this is coming out is that people need to understand, some, not all, that what they have thought was just normal is not behavior that is going to serve them or their mission. That's the point of having this come out now. We're needed right now on our missions, but the people that have not figured out this narcissistic parent connection are still operating in ways that are not going to be allowed on the mission. This stuff has to be healed. The cheat's being given because this stuff has to be healed. I'll tell you from my own experience, the inner child is kicking and screaming, not wanting to admit that their parent was that ugly narcissist word that is thrown around so much anymore. The inner child doesn't want to believe that their parent did not love them in the way that other parents love their children. The inner child is going to defend their parent. It's very hard to get the inner child to accept that maybe this parent did their best, but they left them with some patterns that are kind of messing up their lives. It's a tricky thing. And if you've been trying to heal this stuff, you actually did realize your inner child may have been standing up and saying, my mommy loved me, my daddy loved me. See, the inner child equates pain and suffering with love because that was their normal. All sorts of unhealthy attachment styles came out of this. This is something that has influenced us in ways we don't realize until we do realize. So let me tell you, there are like 14 or 15 traits that we have in common, us children of narcissists. And from my own experience, there are things I have criticized myself about over the years, felt bad about that I was this way, and didn't realize that this stemmed from having a parent who was a narcissist. There are just certain things we learn as our normal that we may not be proud of, but they are who we are. And we just don't know how to choose a different normal, you know? So if you're a twin flame and if things just don't seem to have been working out very well, don't seem to be heading in a direction that you think you want to stick around for, just please take a minute to look at whether it's possible that you were raised by a narcissist. Take it from there. Because there's a lot to heal that you haven't been aware of if you weren't aware of this. I have all these written down, but I wasn't prepared to talk about them in this video. I am just supposed to give you the tools to investigate something that may be keeping you from your union and your mission. It may be a hard one to face, but it could be that you had a parent who was a narcissist and that has influenced you in ways that are not good for you, or maybe even the people around you. Heal these things, and it's not your fault, so you can quit beating yourself up about it. I think that's it. I don't really know what else to say. I mean, I have been through all this. I know how hard it is to face, but honestly, when I went through that list of traits and realized I checked everyone off and then looked up why it was that way, I felt relieved. You know, it wasn't just because I'm defective. There was a reason I picked up these habits or these ways of negotiating through life that were pretty much sabotaging any chance of being happy. You can do it though. You're not a pussy. You're here because you're strong. You're here because you can do this. But sometimes we just need a little cheat. And Spirit is sharing that.